Hey everybody, we're live today with Josh from Elite Group Home Inspections, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what is a home inspection. Thank you for being here, Josh.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I love working with you guys, so I'm very excited that we get to do this here today, answer some few important questions, and just let people know who are preparing to buy a home what to expect when it comes time to do a home inspection. So if you don't know already, the home inspection comes as soon as your offer gets accepted, and we open escrow. It's part of your due diligence period, and it is a really, really important part of the process. So, Josh, what is a home inspection?
Absolutely. A home inspection is conducted by a home inspector. And in the state of California, it's important to know that there's no such thing as a licensed home inspector. So you want to work with somebody that is certified and has insurance. And a home inspection is a physical examination of all the major systems inside the home: the plumbing, the heating, the electrical, the roof, the foundation, and the grounds. I could compare it like this. If I was to go buy a used car, I could hire a mechanic and have that mechanic go through the used car and find out any defects. The home inspector is the mechanic for the home, or a general doctor. If I was to go to a general doctor and they say, "Hey Josh, everything's great, but you have a little tick in your heart. You might want to go see a specialist, a heart surgeon, or whatever it may be." Very general, but you're going to get a lot of information on the overall condition of your property. A lot of times buyers actually mix up a home inspection with an appraiser. So sometimes buyers will say, "Well, what's the house worth at the end of the inspection?" It says, "We are not here to do that. We're here to point out the defects in the home, to give you information about the home you're purchasing."
That's a really good point that you make. So, like, what is the difference between a home inspection and an appraisal?
Oh, excellent question. So appraisers are actually licensed in the state of California, and an appraiser's main job is to go out to the property, find comparables of recent home sales, and say, "Oh, that house just sold over there for $798 and it's 2,500 square feet. This house is," and they compare, and they're going to give you a number or a value on what the house would be worth. A home inspector is just there to look at the condition of the property. They are not there to give any value. They're there to point out, "Hey, there's some tiles that may be lifting on the roof, or there's some windows that need some caulking so no moisture can get inside there." They're going to look under the sinks. They're going to also go to every single bathroom area and make sure the toilets are flushing and there's hot water and cold water. This is all really good actionable information for the new homeowner to have and to understand, so they can make a more informed decision when they're moving into their new home.
Yeah, absolutely. So an appraiser, you're right. An appraiser is hired by the lender, right? And the buyer to purchase the home hires the home inspector. It's another key point there.
Yes, and on that, Carla, home inspections are not mandatory. They are the buyer's choice, and the buyer's free to choose whoever they would want to do the inspection. Just remember to work with companies that are certified and insured.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned a few things that you take a look at. You said plumbing, foundation, roof, and electrical. Are those the four main components that you take a close look at?
Those are some of the major components. So we have the roof, the plumbing, the heating, the electrical, the air conditioning, the foundation, and the grounds. And we put that in a photographed report. So there's going to be photos in every single report that we have of all those different areas documented. And it's going to give you the client, we're going to point out any defects that we might find. We're really going over the house. We're checking over 1,800 items. And we're going through all the different areas of the house. So people always say, "Do you go up in the attic, the crawl space in the attic?" Absolutely. Even when it's 110 degrees outside, those attics, they get up to 160 or 180 degrees, where you will walk out of the attic and you will be a pound lighter because of how hot it is there. It's like a sauna. So what we're looking for electrical. We're making sure that the HVAC is working properly, and if it has a drain line that's going outside of the property. We're also looking for past moisture leaks that may have happened in the property as well. It's a very overall cursory overview of the condition of that property when we are at the inspection.
Wow, 1,800 items. I didn't know that you looked at so many things. That explains why the report is always about 50 pages long.
Yes, yes. There's a lot that, I mean, if you just start even looking at a door and think of how many parts go into a single door, and we're making sure those are latching properly. Are the hinges installed? So there's a lot of different things that go into the inspection.
Got it. And so does this change the things that you look at depending on if it's like a single family home versus a condo?
Yes, great question. So the differences between the condos and single families, a lot of the condos and townhomes there's areas that are maintained by the HOA, our homeowners association. So a lot of times the roof and the grounds are going to be maintained by the HOA. Now, if we can access the roof, we will go up and inspect the roof, and we'll inspect the grounds as well. Sometimes the HOA's companies will say, we don't want you to go up on the roof, because then it's a liability to the HOA. So sometimes we will exclude the roofs from our inspection. And also sometimes if the air conditioning is shared between units, we may not have access to that from the HOA, and they say, don't worry, this is covered under the HOA. So those are the major differences. And a lot of times your condos, some of them are on slabs, and we'll still be able to get a little bit of a picture on how the condition of the slab, but it doesn't compare to a single family residence when we're actually able to walk around the entire area circumference of the house to give us an overall picture or overview of that foundation.
Got it. So really, what is the benefit of the home inspection, would you say? Like, what's the reason why somebody would want to know the condition of all of these things?
That's a great question. So if we go back to looking at the used car example, and let's say I didn't know anything about cars and I go buy a used car, and the worst experience to buy a used car is to have that car and have it for a week, and then you have to replace a tire, and then you have to replace maybe the air conditioning, and then maybe you find out something, you got to replace a headlight because you didn't do a proper inspection. Now, that scenario would be vastly different if I had a mechanic come out and look at it, and they said, well, hey, Josh, there's a bad right tire, and Josh, there's a headlight that's out, and Josh, the AC is not blowing quite as cold, just so you know when you go move forward with this purchase. That way, I kind of am approaching it as a proactive mindset when I go to purchase that vehicle. And it's the same thing when going into a house. Houses need maintenance. In order to maintain your house effectively, there are things that we need to do as homeowners every single month to make sure all of our systems are maintained and maximized. I mean, you look at yards, weeds grow every week, and you're out there and you're picking weeds. So proper maintenance is very important for a house. And so it's important, if I'm just walking through a house or I see photos when I'm looking for a home online, we get kind of starstruck when we walk through properties. When we're walking, oh, that's got nice countertops and that looks great. The home inspector is going to go out there and they're going to do that next level. They're going to open up the cabinets, make sure everything's working properly. It's going to give you actionable information that will get you prepared for what you may have to do as a homeowner when moving into that property.
Got it. So every house needs maintenance. There's going to be a long list of repairs. Can you help guide the buyer in like distinguishing which repairs are deal breakers and which repairs would be, normal maintenance items? It's a long report that they usually need to sort through. Right.
So like I said before, when we walk through homes or we're buying homes, it's a very emotional experience. Oh, I love this house. It's a great house. And we can kind of get caught in the weeds. So people will see a report and there may be a lot of defects on the report. Mm-hmm. I'm here to spill the beans that every single home that we inspect, we find an issue or a defect with. There's a very small subset, like 0.05 of homes that don't have defects.
Yeah.
Even new construction, when we go out and inspect a brand new home, sometimes we have issues with defects that we do not see in homes built in the 1920s. Sometimes that homes built in the 1920s, 1940s have less defects than new construction. What you want to think about is the meters. A lot of buyers' biggest concern is the roof. So we're gonna evaluate the roof and the foundation. And just know that everything in a property can be fixed. There's nothing in a property that can't be fixed. What I like to remind people is to go back up to that 30,000 foot view. I mean, Carla, I've seen buyers and sellers argue over a dishwasher, and I've been on the phone with them and they're arguing back and forth. Does the dishwasher work? And I'm saying, the dishwasher works, but it doesn't work 100%. The seller's saying, I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to buy the house if I don't get the dishwasher. I said,
minimal things, right?
It's so minute.
Easy things to replace.
We just had to say, hey, Pat, stop that. How about you guys do a deal? Because the buyer is saying, I love this house. I love the neighborhood. I love that it's this close to my grandparents' house, that it's so close to these stores and so close to this. So if you're a buyer and you find yourself looking at all these defects, just know that they're coming, and know that there's some things that you're going to be able to fix on yourself, by yourself. Like the example, if we go back to the car, if you're savvy enough, we can go out and change that headlight ourselves. Now, some of the air conditioning and some of the other major things, we're going to know that we're going to budget for that stuff in the future. So that's what I would just remind everybody is every single house has defects. Try not to get lost in the emotion and the weeds of, oh, I can't buy this house. This house has defects. Just know that every single house has defects, and go back to that 30,000 foot view on why you like that house to begin with.
Yeah, that's a great point. Every house is going to need maintenance. Every house is going to need certain repairs. So when I like to sort through this inspection report with my buyers, I really try to identify the big ticket items, right? Like I said, like you mentioned, the foundation, the electrical, the plumbing, the AC, the roof. Those are often like thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And those could be the ones that maybe the buyer would think, I can't afford to spend $30,000 fixing this stuff. And then, they walk away from the deal. Versus maybe like a wall socket or a broken sink or, like you said, a dishwasher. Very easy things to fix. So thank you for kind of clarifying that. I love working with you guys because you guys have this really awesome cost repair estimator.
Yes.
So why don't we just get into kind of, how do people schedule inspections with you guys? How long does an inspection take? And how much is it normally?
Great questions, Carla. So we've been in business for 35 years, and we've got to learn how to perfect the systems and processes of a home inspection. If you look on the bottom of the screen, this is really cool technology. Our website's down there. We can schedule online. Clients can also call 800-494-8998. I do have over 75 inspectors that are all certified, not only through InterNACHI, which is the world's largest certifying body, but also we are certified by the California Association of Realtors to conduct home inspections in Southern California. And that's really big because there's really no barrier of entry into the home inspection industry. And as Carla was mentioning, we have this tool. It's called the Repair Pricer tool. One of the most common questions after we point out a defect in a home inspection is, hey, how much is that going to cost? Kind of like your last question, Carla, where you're saying, how do I know if this is going to be a big ticket item or a small ticket item?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times as buyers, we're reading on the home inspection report and it'll say the defect, and some buyers think that's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. And no, it's a $5 fix.
Yeah.
It's just really easy. So what that Repair Pricer tool is, it's a third-party service that's basically retired contractors that are giving you their professional, unbiased opinion on how much they would charge to repair that item. And this is a tool only. What that means is you cannot hire these people that are giving you their unbiased opinion. And it's that next layer of information for you to make actionable decisions as the homeowner. And that comes in our Elite Plus package. And also in our Elite Plus package, we have other guarantees, a 5-year roof protection guarantee that is included in that package. So if you experience any leaks, we also have a mold safe guarantee, a sewer guard guarantee, a structural guarantee, and there's a lot of guarantees in that package. That package upgrade is only $150. Your average, it's so worth that upgrade.
Yeah.
So when we talk about average price for a home inspection, our pricing starts at $358, 0 to 1,500 square feet for a condo. And for single family residents, 0 to 1,500 square feet is $375. If you ever have any questions about the pricing, you can call our 800-494-8998, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Got it. And how long does a home inspection last, and should the buyer be present?
Yes. Okay, a good rule of thumb for a home inspection is 1 hour per 1,000 square feet. Now there's other variables that will come into play. Is the house occupied or vacant? Because a lot of times sellers, if their belongings are on the way, it might just take a little bit longer. The overall condition of the property, how many defects is there? So that will come into play, but a good rule of thumb is 1 hour per 1,000 square feet. So if we had a 2,000 square foot house, we would say that home is going to take right around 2 hours to inspect. Plus, we add on 30 minutes for questions and answers. This is a perfect time for the buyers to show up towards the end of the inspection, and they can have their questions and answers. The home inspector is going to walk them through the major findings on a summary page that is in the report. We do highlight the major items that we find in a summary page. The home inspector is going to walk you through, answer any questions you might have about those items, and also answer any questions that you might have about the property in general. I do highly recommend you attend the inspection, so when you see the defects on the report, you have a better understanding of the defects. Because a lot of times, like I said, our mind likes to play tricks on us. When we start seeing 7 or 15 or 20 defects, then we start getting overwhelmed because the home buying process is stressful enough to begin with. So it's good to hear from the certified professional inspector really what's going on, what they might focus on, and some of the major defects, and just going to give you that extra peace of mind and knowledge when you're having a certified inspector answer your questions.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a really great general overview of what someone can expect during their home inspection. So thank you so much, Josh, for being here. I'm looking forward to my next home inspection with you guys, which is on Tuesday.
Oh, yay!
And I'm really I'm looking forward to our first time home buyer open house mixer, where you guys have kindly given us some more information and some gift cards that we can give away to the people who RSVP. So thank you for that. And if you guys, of course, have any questions, or you're ready to book your next home inspection, or want to learn more about Elite Home Group, their information is scrolling in the bottom there.
Carla, I also, real quick, I want to say thank you. And I appreciate your approach, your education that you're trying to bring to your clients. I love that approach, and I commend you. And I also want to thank you for having me, and I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Looking forward to doing this again with you.
Awesome.
All
okay,
right,
bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody.